Hello, my name is Arum Fitria. I'm 21, 6B1 class and name 211900065. I will tell you about 5 videos in the hair question and I have watched it on YouTube. How to learn anything. Becoming a parent is an amazing experience. Your whole world changes overnight and all your priorities change immediately so fast that it makes it really difficult to process sometimes. Now, you also have to learn the tremendous amount about being parent, like for example, how to dress your child. This is the new to me. So there is so much to learn and so much craziness all at once. We have in fun and we are trying to make sure that everything gets done that needs done and life really busy. Everybody had this thought, which is we are never going to have free time again. There's a way practice efficiently that will make sure that you invest those 20 hours in the most effective you possibly can, and here's the method at least to anything. 4 simple steps to rapid skill acquisitions. 1. Deconstruct the skill. 2. Learn enough to self-correct. 3. Remove practice barriers. 4. Practice at least 20 hours. Those 4 very simple steps that you can use to learn anything. What makes you special? I'm a journalist. My job is to talk to people from all walks of life all over the world. Today I want to tell you why I decided to do this with my life and what I've learned. My story begins in Caracas, Venezuela, in South America, where I grew up. A place that to me was and always will be filled with magic and wonder. From a very young age, my parents wanted me to have a way to view the world. I remember one time when I was around 7 years old, my dad comes up to me and said, "Mariana, I'm going to send you and your little sister, who was 6 this time, to a place where nobody speaks Spanish. I want you to experience different cultures." He went on about the benefit of spending an entire summer in the summer camp in the United States, stressing a little press that didn't pay too much attention at the time. You never know what the future holds. I was thinking we were gonna get to summer camp in Miami. My dad, however, has slightly different plan. From Caracas, he sent us to Brainerd, Minnesota, and with no cell phone, no Snapchat, and no Instagram, I couldn't look up any information with Stanley. We didn't look like them. We didn't speak their language. We were different. When you're 7 years old, that hurts. When you're different, you have to work a belonging. You have to be either really helpful, smart, funny, anything to be cool for crowd you want to hang out with. I began to understand how this experience was changing me. Being able to speak different languages, to navigate all these different people and places, it gave to me a unique sensibility. I was beginning to understand the importance of putting myself in other people's shoes. That is a big part of the reason why I decided to become a journalist now. It's okay to not have a plan. How many us over here have celebrity crushes? I'm sure some of us must have done something crazy to reach out to these crushes. This friend of mine one day decided to pack his bag and leave his home from Baroda and come to Mumbai to meet the love of his life, Amisa Patel. Well, okay, so he decided to do that, and he knew that he wanted to meet her in a different capacity, not as a fan because pride. And the easiest way to get in touch with her was to get into showbiz, and he did. Eventually, over the years, he realizes that this was actually something that he liked doing, and he stuck to do it. It's been 10 years. He started acting, and Amisa Patel now is his story in his life. So like they say, life happiness to you when you're busy planning other things. How to achieve your most ambitious goals. I'm going to give you the skill necessary to become a world-class artist, and it shouldn't take more than about 15 seconds. But before I do that, how many believe you could replicate this image of a solid gray square? Every one of us. And if you can make one gray square, you can make 2, 3, 9. Truth the matter is, if you could make just one gray square, it'd be very difficult to argue that you cannot make every gray square necessary to replicate the image entirely. And there you have, I've just given you the skill necessary to become a world-class artist. I know that you are thinking that's not real art. Certainly would not make me a world-class artist. So let me introduce you to Chuck Close. He is one of the highest earning artists in the entire world for decades, and he creates his art using technique. You see, what stands between us and achieving even our most ambitious dreams has far less to do with possessing some magical skill or talent. I am familiar with how problems make decisions to solve them. All the way through to me graduation. Yes, that high school graduation for me. Every one of my report cards basically said the same thing. Stephen is a bright young boy. If only he was down and focused. What they didn't realize, I was wanted even more than they wanted it for me. I just couldn't, and so from kindergarten straight through the second year of college, I was really consistent C and C- student. But then going into my junior year, I ever now enough. I thought I want to make a change. I'm going to make a magical adjustment, and I'm going to stop being spectator of my decision making and start becoming an active participant. And so that year, instead of pretending again that I was suddenly able to settle down and focus on things for more than 5 or 10 minutes at a time, I decided to assume I will not. And so if I wanted to achieve the type of outcome I desired, doing well in school, I was going to actually have to change my approach. And so I made a marginal adjustment. If I would get an assignment, let's say read 5 chapters in a book, I will not think of its 5 chapters. I will not even think of its 1 chapter. I would break it down into these tasks that I could assign that would require me to focus for just 5 or 10 minutes at the time. That's it. What you didn't know about language barrier. How many of you can speak more than one language? Now keep your hand up if you can speak more than 2 languages, and how about 3? Very impressive! But did you know that you actually could have easily learned 25 languages? It's true. This is natural human phenomenon that any normal child born anywhere in the world is capable of learning any language that he or she is exposed to. And did you know that the language that your child is exposed to before the age of 7, which is also known as the critical age period, are the only language that he or she will be exposed to later in life? Leonard Bloom said that acquisition of language is doubtless the greatest intellectual fettering that any one of us is ever performed. So I asked myself and some others in the overseas student program here, why do we learn language? At first, we all learn language because we have to. As humans, we are designed to learn language just like we are designed to walk. There's simple, no preventing it. There is a lot more to language barriers that I want you to know. Have you ever heard a linguistic relativity? Linguistic relativity is the field which asks questions on the relations between language, perception, and thought. The core theory is called the determination theory. It's scientifically proven, and it's that the language you speak shapes the way you think and influence your behavior. The fathers of linguistic relativity, Benjamin Wolf and Edward Sapir, state that if a word doesn't mean your language, you won't know the concept behind the word. Now I want to leave you with this quote by Helen Keller, who was an American author, a political activist, and the first deaf-blind person ever to receive the Bachelor of Arts degree. Suddenly, I felt a mystic conscious as of something forgotten, a thrill of returning thought, and somehow the mystery of language was revealed to me. Everything had a name, and its name gave a birth to a new thought. Thank you.